Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Topping our news tonight, Tropical Storm Nate has formed in the Caribbean.
The latest track is just in from the National Hurricane Center. ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan joins us now with the latest first alert forecast. Bob.
Thanks, you guys. I tell you, this is being generous that it's a tropical storm. No tropical storm force winds are being recorded right now out in the western Caribbean Sea. So the pressure remains at 1,000 millibars. The National Hurricane Center has decided to just leave it as Tropical Storm Nate right now, although it does not look like a tropical storm by any stretch at this point. It's over land near Honduras and expected to move out into the northwest Caribbean. Eventually, it will become a stronger tropical storm, let's say, throughout the day on Friday. And interesting to note is that the ship's forecast intensity, rapid intensity forecasting modeling, just read this, is suggesting that this still has a chance to rapidly intensify before it makes landfall into the Gulf Coast states. Right now, by Friday, it should be around 50-mile-an-hour winds approaching the Yucatan Peninsula, where there are tropical storm warnings out. And then a Category 1 storm with 80-mile-an-hour winds heading somewhere toward Louisiana, Mississippi, or Alabama at this point. And then, as I said, it could generate into a Category 2 right before landfall. The suggestions are that it may be stronger than a 1 right here, and then hang on to that Category 2 intensity as it makes its way off toward New Orleans and off toward Mississippi and possibly even Alabama in time. So we'll keep an eye on this. Right now, the good news is it's well away from the west coast of Florida and now the Panhandle for the most part, although the Panhandle will still see some ill effects from this storm. Looks as though we'll see less of an impact here along the west coast of Florida. So good news on that front, but bad news for the United States. Get a look at this, too. This is an interesting thing. This is that 10% chance, and now it's down to 0% chance of a tropical low developing. You see it just off the coast of Key West. There's rotation there, too. You can see an actual center with thunderstorms developing near the center as this pushes off to the northwest. We're going to see some of that moisture enter into our weather picture and give us a pretty good chance for some showers and storms scattered about on Friday and even into Saturday. Some rain falling now near Venice, stretching off toward Osprey and close to Siesta Key. But right now, this rain basically moving off to the west at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. And we are expecting those breezy conditions to continue through the night. Well, more in our forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. In response to Tropical Storm Nate, Governor Rick Scott is declaring a state of emergency in 29 counties. Those counties are primarily in the Panhandle and do not include Sarasota and Manatee counties. But officials are still urging the entire state to be prepared for the worst. Earlier today, the governor met with emergency officials to discuss the state's plans.
The whole goal is always make sure we coordinate local, federal, and state resources. So as we find out where this storm is going, then I'll work with the White House to make sure that FEMA provides everything they can provide.
If you haven't restocked your supplies since Hurricane Irma, now is the time to do so, especially with nearly 2 months left to go in our current hurricane season. And remember, you can get up-to-the-minute updates on the tropics as well as weather conditions across the area by downloading the ABC 7 weather and also the news apps. Once you download these apps, you'll get updates on forecast, breaking news, and other local stories right to your phone. Some Puerto Rican families are taking refuge on the Sun Coast with plans to stay long-term after Hurricane Maria destroyed the island.
Now both Sarasota and Manatee County schools are seeing dozens of students from Puerto Rico enroll in the districts. All schools say they're doing their best to accommodate these students' needs. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live at Riverview High School, where a new student from Puerto Rico just enrolled today, to explain how local districts are handling the influx of students. Jess?
Good evening, Jacqueline and Scott. Manatee County School District has welcomed 36 students from Puerto Rico since Hurricane Maria hit. Sarasota County School District, another 4. And the districts only think that these numbers are going to continue to rise as they say more and more students are enrolling every day. Behind Evo Athletics in South Manatee County, this once empty warehouse is filling up with donations for Hurricane Maria victims in Puerto Rico.
It will go into airplanes, and when it gets to Puerto Rico, a group will pick up all the donations and distribute it to the places that they need it the most.
Jorge Diaz and his family among the victims, moving to Sarasota to join family and rebuild. Now helping to give back to those on the island that weren't as fortunate. While the family didn't lose their home in Puerto Rico, Jorge lost his school.
It was really destroyed. All the windows from the kids, they were all destroyed. Really, no one could have classes that fast. The director of my school wanted to start the class on this Monday, but they can't because all it's destroyed.
Jorge's parents enrolled him in Sarasota County School District. He starts school at Riverview High School on Monday.
So the size of the schools are like a university in Puerto Rico, and my school was very small, but seeing that the Riverview High School is very, very big, it's kind of overwhelming.
While curriculums in Florida and Puerto Rico differ slightly, most, if not all, credits are being transferred from one school to the other. Ana Maria Suarez was born in Puerto Rico and later spent decades teaching at Riverview High School.
It's just like another state, the same thing.
Suarez helped Jorge enroll in school on Thursday.
They made it very easy. It was like doing it in any other school.
Jorge is fluent in English, learning the language since he was a child, so he won't need any additional English language courses.
In schools and private school, they have to take English as a second language.
However, students from other areas of the island may need help through the ESL, or English as a Second Language program, available in both Sarasota and Manatee County schools. Both districts are asking that parents bring their students' grades and school records with them when they come to enroll. Also their health records so they can check for immunizations, and of course their birth certificate. Now the districts do realize that that information may not be readily available to these Hurricane Maria victims as they try to rebuild here in the mainland in Florida. So they are giving a 30-day extension for those who need it. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you so much. Suncoast residents will come together this weekend to bring awareness to a missing Sarasota teenager. 14-year-old Jabez Span has been missing since September 4th. He was last seen near 23rd Street in Sarasota just before Hurricane Irma hit our area. The FBI has joined the investigation to find him, and a $6,000 reward is being offered for information about his whereabouts. A prayer and walk will be held for Span this Sunday to gather community support to find him. The event will take place from 3 to 6 p.m. at Newtown Estates Park in Sarasota.
An update now on that deadly shooting in Nokomis on Monday. We're learning that the 17-year-old daughter of one of the victims has been released from the hospital. She was shot during an argument at the house on Kenwood Avenue. That's where Sarasota Sheriff's deputies found Anthony Isrig, his wife Susan Rutigliano Garcia, and her son Matthew Beagle dead from apparent gunshot wounds. Rutigliano Garcia's 17-year-old daughter and one other person were also found nearby with injuries.
Family, friends, and fellow law enforcement officers paying their respects to a Manatee County Sheriff's deputy.
Sean Feverston died in a head-on car crash last week, and his funeral service was held today at Bayside Community Church. ABC 7's photojournalist Bart Delarmy takes us inside the emotional service for Feverston.
We're here today to remember him as a son, a brother, a nephew, an uncle, that genuinely impacted everyone he met. And although his life here on earth has ended, we are here to give thanks for the special relationship that we shared with Sean.
If I had only one word to describe Sean, it would be special. It was obvious from the start that he had a gift with people, not just his fellow co-workers, but with the inmates as well. I believe that God needed Sean in that jail so he could be that light in a place where darkness is so prevalent.
I recall many conversations with Sean, telling me how proud he was to wear this uniform and represent this brotherhood. My dad and I were so proud to see Sean follow in our footsteps. It broke my heart to lose you, but you didn't go alone, for part of me went with you the day God took you home. I love you, Sean.
You can shed tears that he is gone, or you can smile because he lived. You can close your eyes and pray that he will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that he has left.
He made people around him smile, and that's what I'll remember, just him smiling. And people fed off of his energy and his positivity.
Wow, you can just see and feel the impact that he had on so many people in our community.
A lot of love in that room today. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, the investigation into Sunday's mass shooting in Las Vegas yields new findings. Investigators now looking into the possibility of an accomplice.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus the spice that could be the key ingredient to lowering your blood sugar. Find out what it is coming up in your Health Smart.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089, 800-329-3089.
The Venice Area Chamber of Commerce Consumer Expo is coming to the Venice Community Center October 6th and 7th from 9 to 3. There'll be free health screenings, door prizes, and products and services from 75 area businesses. You can also enter to win $100 in 5 drawings each day. Enjoy the great food court and see new boats and cars in the outdoor display. Parking and admission are free. The Venice Area Chamber Consumer Expo, sponsored in part by ABC7.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
New information today that the killer who gunned down hundreds of people in Las Vegas this weekend may have considered targeting other major American cities.
They're also questioning whether he had an accomplice. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in Las Vegas with those findings.
A chilling view from above the scene in Las Vegas where 58 innocent people were murdered Sunday at a country music festival, as investigators now question whether the gunman who shot down at his victims from these hotel windows may have first tried to target other large events. Sources saying in August he booked hotel rooms in Chicago with a view of the Lollapalooza festival and searched for rooms near Boston's Fenway Park.
Because it's an ongoing investigation, I'm not going to speak any more to it than that.
Officials also confirming he rented a room in this Las Vegas condo overlooking a music festival just a week before the massacre. And investigators now say Paddock may not have acted alone.
You got to make the assumption he had to have some help at some point.
His girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley, now a person of interest. She is cooperating with the FBI and says she knew nothing about the plans. But now an official briefed on the investigation says Paddock was seen with a different woman in the days leading up to the attack. They're now trying to figure out who she is and whether she knows anything about what led to the rampage that also left 487 people injured. Among them, Jesus Campos, the security guard, the first to approach Paddock's hotel room, the gunman shooting him through the door.
His bravery was amazing.
But Campos is downplaying that, saying he was just doing his job and that he's okay. But today, more than 150 other people injured in the attack are still hospitalized. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Las Vegas.
Tomorrow night, you can watch a special edition of ABC's 2020, highlighting the heroes who saved lives during the mass shooting in Las Vegas. Victims, eyewitnesses, first responders will all share their accounts of what happened as the night unfolded. This special edition of 2020 again airs tomorrow night from 10 to 11 right here on ABC 7.
I'm looking forward to watching that. There's so many great stories of people being heroic and so many great inspirational stories for those
themselves
people.
Right in the line of fire. Yeah, absolutely.
We were in the line of this storm at one point, but now things are looking better and better as we move along, and the forecast trend now is shifting off to the west. So we'll show you that in just a little bit. It's been kind of cloudy today, and the pictures are showing that clouds around as a result of a low pressure area off the Keys right now. Van Way's a webcam showing that activity. Occasionally a shower or two pushing on through. Not a lot of widespread constant rainfall, and we're not going to see that too over the weekend. We will see some showers and storms, but it doesn't appear that we're going to see this heavy amount of rain that could cause some significant flooding at this point. Right now there is an area of low pressure. It's right here. In fact, it looks rather impressive on the radar imagery that there is a centralized area of surface low pressure right there just to the west of Key West, and some banding features actually starting to develop too into the center of this low pressure, which is now spinning off to the west. We're starting to see an increase in lightning too as it makes its way off to the west-northwest at time, and it looks like it will get out of here fast enough to allow high pressure to build back in behind it, which will keep it looks like, again, the storm well, Nate, to the west and northwest of us. Some heavier showers down through the Keys. Right now, light to moderate precipitation occurring across parts of Manatee and Sarasota counties all the way into Hardee County right now. It's all moving off to the west-northwest at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. And we can expect brief periods of showers through this evening as a result of that low pressure off the Keys. Now 82 degrees. Currently it's cloudy and the dew point is at 73. We have an east wind at 15 and the pressure 29.86 inches, which has been falling throughout the day today because of that low down south. Now, we are expecting some showers and storms around football Friday night. As you would expect, some rain is in the forecast for late afternoon and evening once again as a result of the proximity of that storm system down to our south. Well, this one is Nate, and Nate is not very impressive looking at all. On the satellite imagery, it is now over land, and look at all the weather to the east of the center. So a storm isn't just the center. You have to look at what's going on around it. And if this were to move up into the Gulf, there's still a chance we could see some of this moisture move into our play here. And it looks like we will see a good chance for scattered showers and storms on through the weekend as a result of the widespread rain that's going to be to the east of it. But we're not going to see a huge event of heavy rain for a long period of time. We'll see periods of showers and a few thunderstorms, looks like, over the weekend. Some high surf and some rip currents, still a possibility along the west coast of Florida. So if you head out to the waters, remember, it's going to be tough going for those rip currents. But the majority of the models all agree now that it looks like it's heading toward Louisiana, Mississippi, or Alabama at this point, and then eventually making landfall as a hurricane, possibly a Category 2 hurricane, and then making its way through the lower Mississippi Valley, eventually heading off toward the Mid-Atlantic coast states and the Northeast. But for the time being, the storm winds at 40 miles an hour. That's being generous, the Hurricane Center is saying right now, because it's over land, it's kind of weakening. But there's the forecast path and track, again, hundreds of miles west of Sarasota and Manatee counties, and then eventually heading off toward the Northeast. So again, everything's kind of falling into line as far as that goes as a result of this high pressure that's expected to build in over the Bahamas. And again, the GFS has been right in this one a little bit better, actually, than the European, which has been unusual of this particular season, as the European has been the go-to model. The GFS seems to be getting this one more accurate and reading right in terms of Nate. A small craft advisory is in effect for Friday too, and it is through this evening. Water temperature now is cool to 82 degrees, UV index at a 7. Tides upcoming, low tide will be at 7:46 and another at 8:04. Forecast tonight, partly cloudy, scattered showers, breezy, 73 for your lows, northeast winds 10 to 15. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, scattered showers and storms, most numerous in the afternoon. The rain chance fairly high on Friday and continuing through the weekend at 60% both Saturday and Sunday. Less of a chance on Tuesday through Thursday of next week. Back to you.
Okay, Bob, thank you. Now to First Alert traffic. We're seeing some delays in some of the usual trouble spots for drivers. We're talking northbound on I-75 right near the University Parkway exit. Some slowdowns in that area. Jacqueline?
In health news tonight, new regulations for genetically modified mosquitoes that could help fight the spread of the Zika virus. The Food and Drug Administration says GMO mosquitoes are not DRGs and should be regulated by environmental authorities. The FDA has decided that mosquitoes that are engineered by the biotech firm Oxitec will be regulated from now on by the Environmental Protection Agency. Oxitec releases non-biting male mosquitoes modified with synthetic DNA to produce offspring that die before they mature. The idea is that these modified mosquitoes will reduce the real mosquito populations that spread that virus. A spice could be the key ingredient to lowering your blood sugar. A number of supplements claim to help lower blood sugar levels and cut the risk of heart attack for people with diabetes, but cinnamon is getting the most attention. In a small study, 30 people with type 2 diabetes took cinnamon supplements each day while 30 others took a placebo. After 40 days, everyone who took cinnamon had lower glucose and cholesterol levels. The placebo group saw no change. Even though this study and others have promising results, there is not enough evidence to recommend cinnamon to people with diabetes for medicinal purposes. Still to come, Disney's Epcot Food and Wine Festival is back. We'll take a look at what this year's international event has to offer.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better. With amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
Watch Your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck. ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Disney's Epcot International Food and Wine Festival is back.
That's right, and it has more of your international favorites. ABC 7's Stephanie Roberts got a chance to explore the festival today and gives us a preview.
Well, it may be a bit rainy, but we have found lots to do here at the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival, and it's a special year for Epcot. I want to introduce you to Chelsea Florig. She is the festival manager, and we are celebrating 35 years at Epcot. What does that mean for this year's Food and Wine Festival?
So to commemorate the 35 years, we have 35 marketplaces this year, and 5 of them are brand new to Epcot Food and Wine.
Okay, what about locations? I noticed they're not just at World Showcase.
Yes, we are also expanding into our Future World area. So between our old Innoventions area and the World Showcase, we're calling it our culinary corridor, and you can find 8 marketplaces over there.
Okay, and there's a lot of eating and drinking to do. I've got my passport. I am ready to get started. How much are we talking about here? How many different types of food? How many different types of wine? Because I need to try them all.
We have over 100 food options and about 125 beverage options. So you can sample a whole lot of things. We have 75 days this year as well, so you don't have to squeeze it in all in one day.
And we're definitely going to need all 75 days. I love the fact that there are indoor attractions because, as we know, it does rain here. And are there stuff to keep the kids busy as well?
Absolutely. We have our Remy's Ratatouille Hide and Squeak, which is a scavenger hunt that's geared especially for children to keep them entertained as they walk along Food and Wine.
Okay, because yes, it is the Food and Wine Festival, but it's also a great place to bring your family with something to do for everyone. Remember, you have 75 days. Come out to Epcot for the International Food and Wine Festival. Back to you.
Wow, that sounds like a good time.
I've never been all
Me
these years.
neither.
Yeah, I got to check that out one day.
Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, a boil water advisory in the city of Bradenton under backlash.
Now, some say there needed to be more of a warning to locals and area businesses.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Happy anniversary to us. We are celebrating our 3rd season with some foodie friends. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we are taking the show on the road to the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. We'll go behind the scenes with ABC's The Chew and meet the hosts. Plus, we'll take a look back at other memorable moments, and we'll toast champagne with Michael Klauber.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these other injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-604-1698. That's 800-604-1698.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.